Pyongyang, the only window into North Korea where every visit is under monitor, is one of the most controversial cities in the world. If I say Pyongyang is the happiest municipality in the world, you probably think I'm kidding. But what if I showed you this? Twirling youngsters, smiling faces, and beautiful dresses. Now, your mind might waver and start Googling it. Then you read a totally different story.
Inside of it, you'll see extreme poverty and extreme isolation, with no freedom, no Wi-Fi, no Facebook, no access to the outside world.
On North Korea, the breaking news.
If you ask me which side of Pyongyang is true, I would say both, because Pyongyang is a choreographed Truman Show. The Truman Show made by North Korea only shows the stage of beautiful and bright side in Pyongyang. They focus on showing you the vibrant movement, happy smiles, classical and well-constructed architecture. Sunny weather, healthy youngster. And the upper class with colorful dressings. This is Pyongyang as choreographed. Every frame is designed to perfection. To bring out these happy scenes, they always use fancy filter. But this wonderful shows is just a ruthless curation. To avoid goof, they strictly controlled the actors. If you visit Pyongyang, you will get monitored and become one of the starring in the Truman Show.
Tour company. All foreigners have to be accompanied with a tour guide at all times, so you're basically in sight of these tour guides unless you are in your hotel room. Under no circumstances are you allowed to walk alone, basically anywhere apart from the hotel.
Also, you can't step out of Pyongyang. You are not allowed to film any military relevant, and the developing spot is concealed.
But they say no construction photos because North Koreans always want their country to be presented in the most perfect way, and construction shows that something is not complete. Taking videos are allowed too, as long as you follow these restrictions.
Can I take pictures? No? Not officials only. Yeah.
You may find a different image from the show and then realize Pyongyang is a city constructed intentionally to show an idealized face of North Korea. It is an orchestrated utopia, presenting a hyper-real governance aesthetic. But it can also be a horror show made by outsiders who try to show something different behind the scenes. But how do they do that? First, they try to reveal what makes the show in Pyongyang. For example, they film how people perform their lives to outsiders under the requirement. Capture the children's expressions when they obey the order. Then, they show the contrast between the front stage and the backstage. When you sneak out of the theater room, you see the house out of the window. It is different from what is on stage. The lens of outsiders always target the flaws beneath the perfect facade in Pyongyang, like a close-up of a sleepy girl during the speech, to imply their acting is boring, not as perfect as they show. Most of the time, the backstage of their lens are dark. They use a gloomy filter. Dark lighting and shaky camera when going through the city view. It creates a strong contrast to the front stage. Also, they use sad music to enhance the negative vibe. The camera focuses on the arms.
As earlier, his government said North Korea's continued provocation will only result in even stronger, faster South Korea-US deterrence and bring further isolation upon itself.
To film the cracks, they always include dark elements like starving children, the symbol of poverty, and general reviewing the troops, the sign of dictatorship, high walls, backward construction, and loyalty of the leader. The outsiders constructed the image of a separated city with a personality cult, harsh supervision, and punishment. It's a dystopia.
To illustrate their words.
These days, watching and sharing foreign videos is severely punished.
One wrong
North Korean government makes Pyongyang a show of utopia, and outsider makes Pyongyang a show of dystopia. But what do the two shows mean to Pyongyang? The two shows of Pyongyang bring distinct effect. Lacking insight on outside world makes some North Korean people marinate in the front stage. They treat Pyongyang as the pride of North Korea and the center of the world. The show of utopia enhances their belief in the government and gratitude for the leader. The backstage of Truman Show makes the world regard it as a menace, a threat to the peace.
And it happened just as President Joe Biden concluded his visit to Seoul and
The symbol of brutal regime, unreasonable strict law. Disregard human rights violations, even to foreigners.
Otto was systematically tortured and intentionally injured by Kim and his regime.
Pyongyang exits only as curated fragments. Whether through the image constructed from the Pyongyang's propaganda, outsiders' imagination, or hearsay from the defectors. What we are sure of is that the image itself is man-made. Pyongyang is a show, with a different script playing out every day. Pyongyang sells a pink-filtered dream. The outsiders sell a horror movie. It is a show directed by Pyongyang itself. A show made by outsiders as well. Your algorithm will decide which version plays tonight.